This is Pranav Guha Thakurta from EduTV New Delhi. Today, we have with us the famous Mr. Vasudevan, Mr. Rajesh Vasudevan. He's the head of the school, Manchester International School, Coimbatore, India. Sir, this is not a very normal year for students. A lot of exams has been cancelled. And in India and abroad, the entrance procedure for universities are quite different. Even within India also, some universities have entrance criteria in terms of their marks in class 12. Some of them have their own entrance examination. And abroad, things are quite different. They check out the internships, community services, resume, then also the marks also. And they have got 2 intakes. Still, students save 6 months. Sir, now I would like to have your suggestion as you are an expert. You have been handing over your students to universities. How the universities can make a smooth transition from schools to universities for these students. Sir.
Thank you, EduTV. Thank you, Pranav, for this session, giving me an opportunity to throw some lights on one of the biggest concerns that the industry of education is facing as of now since 2020. I'm not saying it has been there, but last 2 years, last year, this year included, we are facing a lot of concerns with regard to the issue that we'll be debating now. Now, the problem is that transition from schools to universities have always been a concern for a true educator. The reason being, in India, we, until maybe last 10 years, until then, students were selected purely based on marks.
Right.
I would rather, to put it a little more simple, I would say that a student with good memory who can transfer knowledge from the textbook to the answer script, who had a higher retention power, they do well in the exams and they get into the universities.
Right.
And what happens to these students after universities, we don't have an idea. See, grade 10 school toppers, grade 12 school toppers, we talk about them, we highlight them in the media. What happens to these students? Where are they in the success ladder? Where are they in the global map today? No one has a clue.
Correct.
Now the situation has worsened with the absence of examination, a proper school-based or a board-based exam, written exam. In the absence of it, schools have no idea, agencies have no idea as to how to recruit a child, how to select a student, how to make them move from school to university.
Right.
We have been so dependent on the marks, whereas the core potential of the child has always been ignored. A student who is able to do well in academics, a student who is able to do well in life, they are two different animals. Now, if you look at the entrance procedure in universities abroad, I'm not talking about any particular university, I'm talking about universities in general, out of India, or if you want me to narrow it down, I would say in US, UK, Canada, New Zealand, where we have the strongest population moving. There, the entrance is not purely based on marks. It is listed as many things. Marks is just one of them. India, when we are talking about so many other things in the last 2 years, I don't think a serious thought has been put into considering how can we create a workforce in the next 6-10 years, because these students who graduate from school universities, those students who have completed grade 12 this year and last year, by the time they reach the workforce, the employment area, do they have the necessary skills to identify a place for them, or do they have a necessary, do they have the necessary requirement to be part of any workforce for that matter? We don't know what has been the backdrop, adjustments the schools have done in terms of producing results. And schools were also, I'm talking about schools in general, in the website of the school at the end of the year, we do put students who have scored 96.5%, 99%. These are all purely very conventional method of identifying a potential, and we highlight them. So we have given a feeling that these marks are very, very important for a child's success. And we didn't have any other parameters to judge a student or identify or validate a student's potential. It's a serious topic. I don't think, any soon we'll be able to come to a conclusive idea as to how these transitions can happen from schools to universities. Educators need to put a lot of thought behind this and see a common code, as to implement, like, for example, the national education policy that we have been talking about. It will take some more time, because by the time we were about to bring it into practice, schools have, we have been locked down for so many months and online classes are going. The whole 1 year was a rehearsal for the teachers to get back to the virtual learning platform. Now we are here to continue this journey for one more year, and we do not know by next year whether we will be able to bring all the students back to the physical campus. So teachers are now, educators as of now, are preparing themselves to with the skills that are required to conduct the online classes. So this process of transiting students from schools to universities, what should be the criteria? How do we judge them? What should be the validation that has to be done? That happens only in the last 1 month before the final exams, when the boards decide to cancel the exams. That's when the thought really came. So to what seriousness have been given into it? It's a question. It's a concern.
Thanks for your time. I'm sure your message, your advice will be helpful for students as well as teachers and other stakeholders of education.